And now I'm gonna get my seeds and we're gonna sit here in the shade and go through and figure out what we're going to plant for the fall. I am so behind on my fall planting. Like, I've got my beds ready, the soil's ready, the compost is in there, I've even got my beds laid out, my design done, but I never even sowed any seed yet. But I got my Haas seed order in, and this is my Austrian winter peas. So this is a great cover crop. So this one bag of Austrian winter peas is a 1 pound bag, and it says the seeding rate is 2.5 pounds per 1,000 square feet. So my beds are like 14 by 40, 15 by 40, somewhere in there. They're not all exactly right, but that's the gist of what the bed space is. So one bag should sow and cover one whole bed. So I'm gonna put Austrian winter peas in one of my beds. I'm going to put Marvel chickpeas in one of my bed, and it's the same coverage, so it should cover one whole bed. And these Marvel chickpeas are pretty cool because they're also edible. This is an edible cover crop. So I'm gonna tell you guys more about these as we do them, as I plant them and do them. But I just wanted to show you what all I got in my order here. What have I got? Oh, I got a lot. And like I said, I'm so late that some of these I am not going to. Oh, look at my cute stick magnet. This is a magnet. Get dirty. Haas tools. Get dirty. My favorite thing to do. Get dirty. I'm always dirty. I start out clean. I start out with clean clothes. Start out with clean makeup. Clean. 2 minutes and I'm dirty. All right, so what have we got? I've got beets. We've got Merlin beets. I can still sow my beets. I can just sow these directly in the ground and they mature. They're not too terribly slow, so I can do those. Brussels sprouts, I'm way too late for my Brussels sprouts. They take like 90 days to maturity, so I'm way too late for those. But I picked up some Brussels sprouts from my friend Holly that manages the community garden at the college. And she grew me some Brussels sprouts. So I picked some up from her. But I'm going to save this for early spring. I've got some lettuces. I've got baby leaf lettuce. And I've got romaine. This one's called Braveheart romaine. And I wish I would have already had these going. Oh, and here's some butter crunch. My friend Holly also has me some butter crunch. I gotta go pick up a flat from her a little bit later, but I wish I would have already had these sown in trays and ready to plant, but I didn't. So it's got a really, Haas seeds have really, really good germination rates, like 99%, 85%, 90%, like really good germination rates. So I think I'm just going to try to direct sow some of these in the ground. Usually I like to do my lettuce seeds in trays and then transplant them. But I think since I'm so late, I'm just going to go ahead and direct sow these and see how they do. I got some red acre cabbage, and I'm really too late for that too, I think. Starfighter lettuce. I'm going to do the same thing, sow those directly. I got some carrots, some orange blaze carrots. I wish I would have already had these direct sown in the ground, but I haven't, but I'm going to, and I'm going to see how they do. I got purple elite carrot, and let's see, did I get any other carrots here? That's all I got from Haas, but I've got some other carrots in my seed plan box here that I'm going to sow, so I can definitely do those. I got purple plum radish. I definitely can do these. These are only like 25 days to maturity. And I've never tried the purple plum. I thought these were beautiful, so I'm excited to try these. I've never tried the Merlin beets, so I'm excited to try those. Let me see, here's a golden acre cabbage, and I feel like I'm too late for that. Here's a cauliflower, the graffiti, the purple cauliflower. I loved having that purple cauliflower this spring. This was awesome. This was fun. But I'm too late. So all of these that I'm too late on, I definitely will be sowing these January, February-ish for my early spring garden. Okay, what else have I got? Green magic broccoli. I've never done green magic broccoli. I've done all kinds of others, but I've never done green magic. But I feel like I'm too late for it too. Too late for this cauliflower. Kohlrabi. I don't know if I'm too late or not. Probably, but I think I'm gonna give it a go anyway. I think I'm gonna try it. I mean, heck, why not? Roxanne and cherry bell radishes. I definitely can sow these. Perfect timing for that. Red Russian kale, definitely I'll be sowing my kale. See these things, these radishes and kale, I can direct sow these. Sugar Prince peas, I'm gonna try it. I may be a little late, I don't know, but I'm gonna go ahead and try them. I've got some more calendula, I'm definitely gonna sow these. And this one is the Prince mix. And I've got these onion seeds. They're like 100 days to maturity. When to plant, early spring and fall. So I watched Cog Hill's video when he was talking about how he grew his onions from seeds. And he watched the row by row video of Hoss and found out that this was the best way to grow his onions and how much success he had with them. I've never grown onions from seeds. I've always done it from little bulb sets. But I thought I'd give this a try. But I'm too late to do these and then be planted for fall. So I think what I'm gonna have to do is get more of the little bulbs to plant for fall, and then I'm going to sow these early enough that these can be my spring onions. That's what I'm gonna do with those. I've also got, I'm waiting on from Hoss, some Kodiak brown mustard seed, which I'm going to plant that in my beds where my sweet potatoes were for sure. Because that Kodiak brown mustard is supposed to be a really, really good cover crop to eliminate pests and bugs and pathogens and things in your soil like that. And my sweet potatoes this year, I had wireworms again. This is the second year that I've grown beautiful sweet potatoes and then they're eat up with wireworms. So, I feel like I need to go through and plant cover crops where those sweet potatoes were and where my sweet potatoes are going to be planted next year. I want to get that Kodiak brown mustard cover crop in those beds for the fall and the winter and hopefully help eliminate those pests in my soil, those wireworms. Ugh. Messed all my sweet potatoes up. I'm super, super discouraged about that. So I'm trying to figure out organic solutions to eliminate those wireworms from my garden beds. So I'm waiting on the Kodiak brown mustard cover crop seed to come. And I'm waiting on some German hardneck garlic. Now the hardnecks store better. And I'm waiting on those to come, and I'm gonna plant those in the garden. But I've got a bunch of garlic that I had from this past spring that I harvested. I planted it last fall and I harvested it this spring. So now I'm planting my fall garlic now to harvest it next spring. So the garlic that I harvested in the spring, this past spring, I've got a bunch of bulbs still left, still good, still awesome. I'm still cooking with it, and I'm gonna replant some of those same bulbs. So I've got those that I'm gonna go ahead and get in the ground, but I am waiting on that German hardneck, and I just saw where Hoss's availability. It just come back in stock for the elephant garlic. So I'm going to place me an order for some elephant garlic. And I think I saw where their availability is back on some red onion sets. So I'm probably going to go ahead and order some of those too. So I'm waiting on a few more things to get here for the garden, but I've got a lot I can still plant. And then I've got everything in my seed plan for the year, which, like I told you, I should have been sowing seed and getting ready for my fall garden in August. I keep having to keep my eye on Champ because he has taken the notion to start going and visiting the neighbors every day again. He gets to the edge of the property, his little trail he's got cleared out where he can get to the neighbors and their dogs and their cats and their baby kittens. He gets right to the edge of the property. He sneaks over there and he looks back and he sees if we're watching, and if he notices that we're preoccupied with something else, he jets over there and chases their cat and their kittens and just harasses the neighbors. So I have to keep my eye on him. He's gone for a long time without even going over there. And all of a sudden he's decided he needs to go over there again. And he's a little sneak. So I have to keep my eye on him. He's sitting right here right now. But anyway, that's why I keep looking over there. I'm keeping my eye on this sneaky dog. But anyway, I should have been sowing my seeds in my trays since August. So I'm just going to go through my seed box here and my seed plan for the year and see what I can still plant. I can still sow. I still have time to do it. I'm going to try to get that done today. I'm going to try to get some stuff in the ground today. And whatever I can't, whatever I'm too late for, I'm not going to beat myself up over. I'm going to just get plants from my friend Holly who's growing them. And she sells her plants for like $1 a piece to raise money for the garden, for the community garden. So, you know, I feel great about buying them from her. And she's really an awesome gardener and an awesome grower. So I'm just gonna go get my plants from her. I've already got 2 flats in there in my greenhouse I went and picked up from her last week. She's growing some more things. So I'm gonna go get those in the next week or so. And I'm gonna go to Petals and get whatever she don't have. I'll go over to Petals, my favorite nursery in the world, and get the rest of my plants that I wanna plant in the garden this year. And I'm not gonna beat myself up over it. And that's just how I'm gonna roll this year. So let's see. All right, here we go again. I gotta have these on. Where am I at? August, I should have done cabbage, Brussels, and cauliflower. I'm definitely too late for all of those. September, collards, nasturtiums, lettuces, spinaches, kohlrabi. So I think I can start some of those. All right, let's see. Direct sow outside. Let's see here. September, kale. I definitely can do some kales. And I've got those from House I'm gonna sow. Rutabagas, turnips, mustards, broccoli, radish, beets, garlic, borage, and calendula. So I'm still great with all of those, but I do need to get them in the ground. Now the broccoli, that starts. I should have had those like already grown in seed trays and ready to transplant in the ground. But I got those from my friend Holly. Carrots, I'm gonna put some carrots in, and let's see, I got lots of different carrots. Mustards, I still can sow those, and radishes. All right, here we're moving into October, and I've got sweet peas, garlic, lettuce, and my wildflower seeds. So the wildflowers that I'm talking about sowing in October, that will be your wildflowers that bloom early spring. So those would be like larkspurs, Johnny jump ups, poppies, bachelor buttons, corn poppies, all of your spring blooming wildflowers. that completely stop when it gets too hot. Those are the ones that you want to get those sown in the ground in October. That's like prime time for us, Alabama Central Zone 8. So that's why I've got my wildflower seeds on there, because I definitely want to get some of those beautiful wildflowers in the ground. Good morning, y'all. I didn't get to finish planting my potager garden last week, so yesterday Chase and I went to my friend Holly's at the college and picked up some of these plants she grew for me. I've got some more cabbages, kales, lettuces, chard. I think that's all I picked up from her. And then we swung by Petals, my favorite nursery in the world, Petals from the Past, and picked up some white pansies to pop in my pots. And I'm just going to kind of add them around some of the garden beds. I wanted to go with white because of the wedding. And I picked up a few more plants for the new garden area that we're going to be doing around our new porch. I've just been trying to collect some of the plants that I want to add in that area. And I picked up a August Beauty Gardenia, and I picked up 2 more emerald green arborvitaes while I was there yesterday. I grabbed those. Okay, so we went and got these plants, and I'm about to try to get them in the garden. And also, while I was at Holly's, she has a huge eucalyptus tree planted over at the garden. So I took a few cuttings off of it, and I'm going to go hang these up and let them dry. I thought we might could use these in decorating for the wedding somehow. So I'm gonna go hang these up and let them get to drying, and then we're going to get in the garden and try to get the rest of this potager garden planted today, the fall garden. I'm gonna try to get this garden planted real quick, get these plants in the ground this morning before it starts raining. We've had rain for like 3 or 4 days straight, and if I can get these in the ground and let it rain on it, that would be awesome. And then I've got to start packing and getting ready. Jean and I are going to the HOA conference. I'm so super excited about this. I've never got to go. We've always wanted to go, but we've just never got to go. It's in Virginia, and that is quite a trek for us. It's going to be like an 11-hour road trip. So I've got to get this planted and get packed up and get the farm and everything ready. Chase and Jean's mom and dad is going to take care of the farm for us, and just Jean and I are going to go. This is also our anniversary trip. Our anniversary was last week. Yep, it was last week. We've been married 31 years, and Jean was out of town all week on a business trip, so we didn't get to celebrate. But we're making this Homesteaders of America Virginia trip our anniversary celebration as well. And I'm really excited to get to go and get to meet some of my favorite homesteaders and YouTubers. A lot of them, I call them my mentors, because I have learned a lot from a lot of different ones. Joel Salatin, Justin Rhodes, Fit Farmer, Stivers Homestead, Amy Fuel. She's like the founder of Homesteaders of America, and I did a collaboration with her last year, and she is really awesome person. I'm super excited to get to go meet some of these great homesteaders and YouTubers. Plus there's going to be like a lot of good classes and seminars, and I'm hoping we can level up some of our knowledge. And it's just going to be a great trip. If any of you guys happen to be going, send me a comment and let me know. I would love to meet up with you and meet you guys in person. That would be like the icing on the cake if I could meet some of you guys. So if you happen to be going, just let me know, and let's see each other at the conference. So let's get this garden planted this morning. I did get some things planted last week when I was working on it. Let me just kind of run through with you what we've got and what we're going to do today. This bed I sowed carrots. I don't see any popping up yet. I see a lot of little zinnias and stuff. I don't see my carrots popping up, but we'll see. It takes them a while to germinate. Right here I've planted some kales and cabbages. I'm going to finish this row out in kale and finish this row out in cabbage. I ran out of plants. Over here we've got, I started with my chard, my rainbow chard. I got some more of those from Holly. I'm going to finish that out. We've got some cabbages, and over here I've got broccoli and my Brussels sprouts, and I'm going to do this in the Brussels sprouts too. I'm gonna have 2 rows of Brussels sprouts, 2 rows of broccoli, and I've also got my beets in there. And let's see, I see some coming up. I see some of my beets coming up. See how fast they germinate? They're coming up. Yay. And let's see over here, what did I get done? I got some more kale sown. I got my house tools seed, kale seed sown right here. I think I see some coming up. Let's see. I don't think so. I think all that's zinnias. Here's more cabbage. And I got to get my lettuces in here, but they're not quite ready yet. And then over here is a whole bunch of zinnias popping up. But this bed I sowed some mustards, and they're coming up. I see them. And over here my turnips are coming up. That was the turnip seed that I sowed. They're all coming up. And this was rutabagas. I see a few popping up in here. Yay, I love to see little seedlings pop up out of the ground. So exciting. And then in the greenhouse, I did go ahead and sow some things in seed trays. I did go ahead and put my lettuces in seed trays. So all the lettuce seed that I got from House Tools, it all came up wonderfully. But my old lettuce seed, it was really old, but I went ahead and tried it anyway. None of it's germinated and come up. But that's the risk you take when you use old seed. But let's see what's happening in here. There's all my little lettuce babies coming up. That was the lettuce mix. That was Butter Crunch. They're coming up. That was romaine. These are the old seeds. None of that germinated, except my spinach. That did germinate. And look here. I've got nasturtiums popped up. They're quick. And we've got some calendulas coming up. And I've got some collards. And some kohlrabi. Yep, it germinated and come up. So whenever these get big enough, we'll pop these in the ground too. Hopefully we have enough time before a frost. These are my other plants that I've been collecting to add to the new bed around the porch. So I've just been getting them as I can and stacking them up in here. I'm getting ready to start landscaping and planting the beds around the new porch area. And I'm excited about this. This is the fun stuff to me. Champ, don't even think about it. Champ's trying to go back to the neighbors again. Don't even think about it. He's looking for his getaway. when I'm not paying attention. Alright, I'm gonna finish out these Brussels sprout beds I got here. These little amaranth keeps coming up everywhere, but so are my beets. So that's good. I planted my Brussels, and on my broccoli row I did the same thing, but I planted them down the center, and then I come back and planted beets down the sides on each side of it. So I'm making, the beets don't take up much room, and I'm just making, plus their roots are different, and like the Brussels sprouts have a little bit of a deeper fanned out root system, and the beets, the root is the fruit, so it's just the beet, and so the root systems won't compete, and they're good companions together, and it helps me to get more food in one space. Finishing up my cabbages here. I got all my rows of cabbage planted. I'm not gonna be able to plant my red acre or my purple cabbage in the garden because everywhere I went looking, Holly didn't grow any, and everywhere I went looking for the purple cabbage, it is ridiculous how much they want. They're selling, don't step on my stuff, champ. They're selling them in little like 5-inch cups, I guess they are, 5 or 6-inch cups. And they're selling them for like $4 a piece. I'm not paying $4 a piece for a red cabbage. So, especially when I need like 12 for each row, there's no way. So we won't be having the purple cabbage this fall, but I've got the seed from Hoss, and I will definitely get my purple cabbage sown in my trays and ready to plant in my garden for spring. Okay, Champ wants some attention. He is the neediest dog. These are little seedlings that Holly grew. They're Buttercrunch lettuce, and there's a lot of them here. But Buttercrunch is like a head lettuce, so I'm gonna need to separate these out because I want it to be able to make its head, like to fill out and form out and make a good head of Buttercrunch lettuce. So I'm gonna use what I need to do my little circle here of the second row, and then I'm probably just gonna take the rest and I'm just gonna cut them and use them as just like greens to eat. So what I'm gonna do with these seedlings is I'm just gonna take them, separate them out, and then I'm going to stagger them on the outer edge of this row. So it's gonna be like something like that all the way down the row, and then I'm going to come back and down the middle of the row I'm going to make me a little trench all the way down the middle of the row, and I'm going to plant these purple elite carrots down the center of this Buttercrunch lettuce. I'm gonna go ahead and finish sowing my seeds and getting these plants in the ground and get as much of this fall garden planted as I can get finished today. I've still got stuff in the greenhouse that I'm waiting on to get big enough to transplant some of my lettuces and the kohlrabi and the collards and the spinach and some of the flowers. I'm waiting on those to get big enough, and then I'll transplant them out here. But I'm gonna get as much done as I can on everything else today. But I need to go ahead and end this video so I can speed plant and get this knocked out. I want to get this video edited and uploaded for you guys to see before we leave for the conference. And I've got so much to do to get ready before we can leave. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, going through my seed order and planting some of the garden with me these past 2 weeks. And hopefully I'll see some of you guys at the conference. But if I don't, I'll catch you on the next video. So y'all have a blessed week.